Yeah. Whatever, whatever you best also make because Sunday more than 30, more than 30 doing the right you didn't use it. That's where like I was really very confident. That's the way how whatever ways you do it. That's all I said. We're good. We work together to do the right has been done. Now we have to not that is whoa. Okay, my fellow warriors, today we're going to have our topic. I just shortened it to follow up, but if you want to our blog every Friday at 8 a.m., blog. But if you invest whatever it is, go to that means and you and then you mind the very did I make a mistake here? Did I do this wrong? Did that? What did they think of that? What was that pause they had? Was that because they didn't like it, or was it because they liked it? All these things are racing through your head because you're like, I don't know if I made the best impression. I think I did, but did I really? And sometimes you think you did. I mean, that happens to me. Even when you take an exam, the same thing happens. But right then, you're trying to figure out, did I make an impression? What do they think about it? Are they going to call me back? What are they going to say? Is it going to be favorable? Is it going to be unfavorable? All these different things are going through your head after that investor meeting because you know you need that money. And if you watch Shark Tank, you see it. Sometimes they have to pass up on the money because sometimes the people want more equity in their company than they're willing to give. But that's the thing that happens. So after that, all this is done. What do you do? And most of me think that's it. But that's not it. Sometimes the follow up is what gets us the deal more than the pitch that we made, more than the meeting that we had. But sometimes when we do those follow ups, we got to make sure we're not annoying because some people can be really like just nagging and nagging. And that may be, you may think that's persistence, but it may not be coming across as persistence. It could be annoying to the person on the other end, on the receiving end of your follow-up. So that's why we like to see what is the best way to do it. And this was such a wonderful, I just enjoyed doing this blog. Okay, I will have to remember that. And it was just so interesting with some short points, but they were so interesting. Number one, after that meeting, the only way to follow up, one of the ways to follow, not only, but one of the ways, the perfect things you got to add to your follow-up is what do we, think about it too much, just a simple thank you. Just a simple thank you for allowing you the opportunity to talk with them, to make your pitch, to show them what you're doing, and to ask. That's even if they never tell you yes, that makes such a lasting impression on people more than anything. It's just the fact that you're grateful, and then that thank you. It doesn't have to be long. You have to show you show your purpose, which is show professionalism and appreciation. Don't make it into this whole personal thing. Short and to the point, but show your appreciation. The content should just be one short paragraph thanking them for their time, referencing the meeting date, and one specific point you discussed to personalize it. So let them see that you actually heard what they were saying, that you didn't just sit there and make a pitch for money. You actually listen to them, and you're going to take the time to inculcate all their input into whatever it is that you're doing. And a good example of that is just saying, thanks for meeting today. I appreciate your questions about our go-to-market plan and the feedback on scaling our sales team. Simple, short, and to the point. And of course, you tweak that whatever way you need to. But just something saying thank you, and one line is saying whatever they told you. We thank you for the information you gave us, and it's gonna benefit us in the long run. And that is just something that blesses their heart without you sounding like you're, just na. Simple and to the point, a short thank you, and do that within 24 hours. And that's important. Next, reiterate key takeaways and next steps. Purpose, confirm alignment and reduce misunderstandings. So you have to reiterate to them the things that they said to you, what you took away from the experience and the conversation. Content, 2 to 4 bullet points, the main decision points, any data or documents promised, and clear next steps with owners and timing. So you want to be very precise and very clear about everything. Main decision points, any data documents promised, make sure you deliver on your promises, and clear next steps with owners and timing. Example, recap. You could just put recap. You'd like our 12-month, number one, you'd like our 12-month financial model by Friday. Number two, we'll introduce you to our head of growth next Tuesday. And number three, you'll review term interest and share feedback in 2 weeks. So you just let them know this is what we're going to do. This is what we talked about. We're going to do this. And this is what to expect from us. That lets them see that you are listening and you're very interested in what they had to say to you. Just heard somebody talking about that today on I think it was on Instagram, how she met with one of the two podcasters, and she's she's very popular herself. She has a lot of followers, and he has more. And she met with him at this festival that they had, and she was talking to him about how they could probably collaborate in the podcast so she could interview him, whatever. And he was telling her, based on what she said, this is what I do. And that's another thing, be very clear about what you do. And I'm learning that too in everything I'm doing over here, everything we're doing over here. Be very clear. And he said, well, this is what I do, and this may not fit me. But I know a couple of people who have had on my show who are very successful, and that may be a better fit for them. Or you could look at them, see how they do it, and probably inculcate that into what you're doing so you could get a better result. So although she didn't like what he said to her, she felt like it was a little much. But she said when she went back home and pondered on it, she realized it was good advice. And so she was able to take it and make herself even better. Although she's really good, she was able to make herself even better. So that makes you think when you see people who are already successful in what they're doing, yet they're able to take advice and make themselves even better, it lets you see you never stop growing. No matter how big you are, no matter how small you are, you're always in the mindset of what do I need to do to make this better? What can I do to make this better? What can I do to have a better impact, a further reach wherever I go? And that's in everything you do. If you stop learning, then you stop growing. And that's just life. And with the fast pace that we are growing in our world today with that AI thing and the kids coming up know it, you have to be on ball now. There's another person I heard say, although we're at a fast pace, we still have to be very mindful and careful to think about what we're doing, make sure it's good, make sure it's not rushed. You can go at a fast pace without being rushed. And that's the way you gotta figure that out. But so that you're not putting things out that are not good, that are not biblically sound or not ethically sound, so you could catch up with people. You have to make sure that's a well-balanced situation there as well. But you have to listen because things are going at a faster pace. The technologies are growing faster. People are changing the way of thinking faster. So you have to be able to adapt, and listening to other people and watching what they're doing is a good way to learn without experiencing the downfalls that could happen. I like to learn from people's experiences, not necessarily mine, especially when they're bad. Okay, so so I thought that was really good. And in this, you can see right there, like just listening to, even if it wasn't what you liked, even if it wasn't as good as you thought they would tell you something else, listen for what they're saying, but let them know you're listening. And just put in these few pointers out, lets them know in a very short, precise way, I heard what you're saying. Thank you for the feedback. And I will do this and do whatever you ask me for. I'm going to send it to you. Okay. Very, very good. Next, deliver promised materials promptly and neatly. I'm always about the organization and the neat. My brain doesn't function when there's a lot of disorganization. But make sure you deliver what you promise. And that's one of our leaders. I won't even mention because I don't like to get into all that. But that's one of the things I like about them. Whenever they tell you something, they deliver, and they let you know this. They'll give you a whole feedback or list of the things that they told you they were going to do and that they've accomplished them. And the ones that haven't been done, they say, well, we're working on accomplishing it. But you have to make sure your word is bond. When you tell someone, especially in the business place, that you're going to do something, make sure you do it. And if you can't do it in a timely fashion for whatever reason, let them know this has come up. This obstacle has come up and it's causing a little delay, but we're on track. We're still there and we're going to deliver what we promised. If it can't happen, let them know that as well. Communication and conversation is the best way to do things. You don't just leave things and say, oh, well, they'll figure it out. No, because that's your reputation. That's word of mouth. Your every experience people have with you is gonna leave a lasting impression, whether they want to or not. And if sometimes you may go years may go down the road, and they don't remember, you don't even remember them. All of a sudden, they see you in the place and be like, "Oh, I remember that." And if it's bad, it's a problem. If it's good, it's a wonderful thing for you. But if it's bad, it's a problem. So leave people with the right experience. If you can't do it for whatever reason, say this has come up and we will not be able to do like we promised. I'm very, very sorry. But a conversation, a communication is always best. Either way. But if you can, by any means necessary, if you say you're going to do something and you promise it, deliver on it, because people will remember that. And that could be something that could help you in the future. And that could be something that says a lot about you, and not just for that person, but they will talk about it to other people. And you will have a good reference with them to other people. That's a networking thing as well. Purpose, build credibility and trust. Content, include a single attachment or link labeled clearly. Oh, link. Okay, I was like, what is that? Or link labeled clearly. So whether you send them a link via email to go into some situation, make sure it's clearly labeled. Everything is neat, prompt, and understood. Example, Fava group, which is our group, 12-month model, V1, volume 1, and a 1 to 2 sentence summary of what's included. So you give them the right label for the thing, whether it's a link, whether it's an attachment, and then you tell them 1 or 2 sentences what's included in that document that you sent them. Use your PDF for documents and one master folder. Put everything in one folder and use PDF for documents, because PDF can translate better. People can print it better. Some people, and for also for security purposes, if you send something via PDF, they can't make changes to your document. They can duplicate it. And so you have to make sure that helps you for security purposes, but also so it can be printable to them if they need to. Okay, so just some short information, but these are the good things that help with follow-up, following up on something, following up on an investor deal. And that's for investment situation, but also for your personal life, for your business, for anything you're doing. Even for jobs, though I've never have I done. I think I have for the jobs, but usually when you do interviews, you're so happy you've done it, like, oh, and you're waiting for them to call you. But some people, one thing I've heard and I've learned, and sometimes I do it, it's kind of can be a little scary. But they said when you do job interviews and you don't hear back for a while, sometimes some people just call, make a call. I had an interview with you a few weeks ago. We haven't heard anything. Just want to make sure that everything's okay, that you don't need anything else from me. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity. That goes a long way. Some people look for that. Okay. I haven't had the opportunity of doing that, but if you're doing that, that's a good thing to do. Follow up on anything, whatever it is that you're doing and you're requesting from people. Follow up with them. Let them know that this, and that works for Christians as well. We know about that with when you're witnessing to people and telling about Jesus. It's always good to send a follow-up and tell them, just to see how they're doing, because that lets them see you care about them and you understand the situation, and you're invested in them doing better and having a good new beginning and being productive in whatever they do in their life. So the follow-up seems simple sometimes, because it's not supposed to be long. It's not supposed to be drawn out. It's not supposed to be you asking all kinds of questions, having the whole conversation. Just a short and to the point, but it speaks volumes all over the place. And that could be something that could follow you if it's a good thing or bad for the rest of your life. So do it well. Okay, so happy follow-up, and follow with confidence. And follow with gratitude. That's another main thing, the thankful part of it. A lot of people forget to be thankful. Okay, and that shows. Don't go bossing them around. Oh, I just want to make sure because I'm this, and act like you're all that, and can be rude or whatever. No, it's not about that. It's just being thankful for the opportunity. Tell them thank you, and give them the short, different things that you agreed upon, and then get another phone or whatever it is that you get off, computer, whatever. I don't know. Okay. So that's the follow-up. And if you can go to our website, go to Fava Conversations, favorofagreatgod.com/Fava Conversations. You will listen to the podcast for that. It's really, really good. It's just, they're just going through everything and they do it so well. So go on there and you can listen to those as well. Okay. So that was a very wonderful thing for the day, for our week. And I hope it helps you in whatever you're doing, whatever endeavors that you're going to be faced with this week, and get it done well. Okay. Talking about follow up, let's go to our stewarded segment and see what's going on. And there's a lot going on. Oh my goodness. Let's go to Weibo. A lot. We have this war going on. The barrels of oil are going up and down. It was 76. I think it ended um, Friday at 96. I think not a little over $96 a barrel. So all kinds of stuff is going on. And then we have uh, there's a new thing going on that's going to probably affect, not probably, it's going to affect the price of the barrels because they're creating a whole new route for them to go for the oil and trading and everything over there in the Middle East that gets them to bypass the Hormuz. And I was always saying that I'm like they need to just find another alternative because Iran is holding that over everybody's heads, but they're finding one, so that's helping them. But now Iran is attacking the other the neighboring nations like Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, and I think they even hit Qatar already. So now they have to fight against them. I mean, it's just a mess because, and I know it's something where they want to hold control. The people over there are just celebrating. They want the government out, but the government doesn't want to leave, and then they're still fighting. So it's just a mess over there. Pray for the people over there, by the way. I mean, everything that's going on, the most effective thing is to pray for people so that God can intervene in that situation because it seems they want to just, yeah, they don't want to give up the reins and it's a mess. And it's affecting the price of oil. And you can see it even in, let me hold on a second. Even when you look at our quotes right here, we look at our stock prices and everything's affecting those prices. There was a little downage, there was an uppage, but then there was a downage over the weekend. By Friday, I think it went up a little bit, but in between there was gone down quite a bit, but it came back up again. But for the most part, things are still stable. I think they still look, there's a volatility, but a stability at the same time. Not sure what that is, but hey, okay. SpaceX took wait a minute, hold on. I was like, wait a minute, I was in the option situation. Okay, let me see this. We're trying to do our Netflix. Let's see if we can do that. But when we do that, I notice the same thing. I'm trying to get our watch. Okay, more of our items on here. Okay, if you see the Netflix is another one that's been going down. It went all the way down to like 60 something, but it picked up a little bit on Friday, which I was thankful for. And I'm not sure why, because I'm watching Netflix, but I know I heard on the news that the viewage has gone down. And I think it started when they had that issue with the kids. There was some programming for the kids that they had. They had a lot of content that were not necessarily family friendly, and people had an uproar about that. And I think they dropped their subscriptions, or something was going on there. And I think since then you've noticed the little issues, but it's picking up again. Yeah, it's not where it was originally, but it's still coming back up. So that's a good thing. Eli Lilly, notice how it's going up right there. A lot of the everybody's buying the Ozempic and all that kind of stuff. So it's doing well. But that's a very stable stock. It's been around for a while. The company's stable, and so it's been making a lot of money. So I don't think it's going anywhere. So that's something people are going to invest in or want to anyway. Micron Technology went down a bit, but it's still up there. SanDisk was the same thing. SpaceX now, that's another one that's been dropped a little bit, quite a bit, down to 115. But it came back up a little bit. I think it was a little lower than that, but it's coming back up hopefully. They had a big production, and I think something where they released, they made a launch, and then something was released, and it's all to do with everything. And there's a big thing I saw. If you saw it, I saw it on TikTok. It was almost like an Apple situation. It was a very all their staff and everything, and a lot of people were gathered to watch it, and that seemed to be very successful. So that's something. And I think they bought over. Did they say? I'm not sure if they bought over some big energy situation, or is it an energy plant or electrical plant to help power everything that they're doing. Because especially with the AI and everything, it needs a lot of power and a lot of energy. That's why they have all the data centers and everything. So they bought their own. I think it was Mr. Musk himself or the company. Anyway, they bought the whole energy company to help them to help fuel everything that they have to do. So, and that also could be a boost to their situation as well. But SpaceX itself had a little damage that happened over the week. So we'll see what happens next week. REITs are doing decently. AGNC is still there. Apple is doing nicely. I like to see it over 300. So that's really nice. So it's doing nicely, and it's going up. I think last week it did a lot of uppage, so it's up there. Good is doing well as well. Uh, Gain. These are all our REITs. The REITs are always, they took some a little dive here and there, but they always come back up because, again, why? Land is going nowhere. Okay, so we just have to always have those on your portfolio. RDT is one of our weeklies, pretty doing pretty good, but went down a bit over the week, like towards Friday there, but still doing good. Chevron, do you see now? You see the energy companies like Chevron and XOM, they went up a bit this week because the barrels of oil went up, if you notice that. And whenever there's a lot of commotion going on over there, I noticed that the oil prices go up. I think they're still working to figure out why it affects us here, but yeah, but that went up as well. TSYY is one of our other, what you call that, weeklies. Went down a bit, but it's still good in the 20s, doing decent. Okay. Silver went up a bit. XOM is another, like, is the gas, Exxon, so that went up a bit. And then Meta, 595, went down a bit, but still doing good. Now, SCHD is one of our good, strong ETFs, right up there, doing very well and very good dividends. QQQ went down a bit, but it's still up there. SPY is doing good. VU, of course, is doing decently. And NVIDIA, NVIDIA, still they're doing good. Went down a little bit towards the end of the week, but for the most part, it's in the 200s, doing really good. YEF went down a bit, but still at a decent price, and it's one of our weeklies. So all in all, things are doing decently, but they just had a drop. Like toward the end of the week, Thursday and Friday, there was a little loss that happened there, and I think it's probably linked to the war that's happening. There's a lot of volatility in the markets right now because things are up in the air, but it's still doing decently because we're still bringing in. I just heard a report from the Treasury Secretary, Treasurer or something. Anyway, I forgot how they call his whole title, whatever. But we had a surplus in June or July, June, I think, of over 24 billion, I think, and that's due especially to the tariffs coming in. So that's what I'm saying. Those things are good to come in right now. Now that we're caught up with this thing, yes, everything is needed and it's doing really nicely. So we're bringing in income into the country, and that can only help things, and that's what we want. Okay. Okay, so that's it. So let's go out of here and go into our NASDAQ and see what's going on that end. Now things should be looking decent there, but hey, that's a lot going on, guys. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's go down to our NASDAQ. A lot of activity, most active by dollar volume. We see everything going on right there. Mu is down a little bit, but SPY is up. QQQ went down a bit, but not by too much though. NVIDIA went down a bit. Standards went down a bit. Tesla is still right, but went down a bit. INTC, Apple is up a bit. AMD is down a bit, and Google is up a bit. So it sees the basics. The technology stocks are pretty decent. They've taken a little bit of a hit, but not too much. And then, of course, you have the REITs are doing decent. And then you have the energy stocks are trying to do, they're going up a bit because of that whole war and everything going on with the oil and whatever. And that's what I wanted to talk about. Things have been working out because didn't know about this. Just saw something on it's a news on the internet. News on the internet. They just found this whole oil reservoir, I guess, or energy reservoir. I think it was oil, and the Grand Canyons in Arizona. And they said there's more oil. How did they say it? There's so much oil there that is more than all the oil reserves in the whole world. It's the largest oil reserve right now in the world, from what they were saying. They just found it hidden under the rocks. they've been looking at it for years, but I guess they didn't. I'm not sure why. I guess with everything going on, they decided to go in there and see what's going on. We can't delay it anymore. And they found one of the biggest oil reserves, if not the biggest in the year in the world, from what I've been listening to. So that's something that could be really good because then again, I think they're trying to find alternatives to keep them away from that Iran situation. I think that's what it is. I would do the same thing because that situation is messy. Okay, so I think they're looking for just alternatives so that they won't get caught up because it's a mess to know that you have to buy oil and to get the oil that you buy, you could end up being blown up. Like, if you don't think that's crazy, I think that's really crazy. Like, it's one thing to go and fight a war. It's one thing to be doing your business and could end up blown up by some crazy nonsense in the country. Yeah. I always say find alternative. When that happens, it's not worth it to me. So I think that's what they're looking at right now. And the nation to try to find alternatives because based on what's going on, they may have to just put a sanction on Iran or something to preserve and protect them because it's just a lot. But I thought that was so, I mean, I was very, very elated by that because I'm like, oh my God, because America has a lot of oil. I know for sure Texas does. It has a lot of oil, different places, and people just have to dig. As a matter of fact, the earth is the Lord's. Everywhere probably God has oil because the earth is the Lord's. God put it in the earth for a reason. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. But I thought that was really good. So let me tell you guys this. Okay, MU, there's something I have to say after. MU Retail Trading Activity Tracker. MU is stayed even. Tesla went down a bit. INTC stayed even. Nvidia went down a bit, not too much. And then SanDisk went down a bit. So there's a lot of trading going on. Went down a little bit because of different reasons, but we're still there. I guess hanging in there, I guess as you say. Oh my God. All right. Okay, like dividends for this week. Make sure you're checking your dividends. What is this? We're coming to the end of the year, end of the month, right? So at the end of the month, there's some dividends coming up. So you should be checking those, checking your brokerage account for what's going on, see what dates they are. If they're not paying out, it's an ex-dividend date. You need to look at if you need to put something in so you could get more in your return. So just check those and see what's going on. End of the month, there's a lot going on. And I think some of what we have on our list may be there, but I don't have the time to go through all this. Okay. So make your money. Make sure all the weeklies that we have, if you have any of those weeklies every Friday or at least every week, you're getting paid. So and also, I forget sometimes, but also always remember to reinvest those dividends so they can multiply and grow your account. Okay. So just keep on doing those. I always like to, when I'm in here, I always try to search and look and see what companies have some big, because some companies have some huge dividends. Exxon has a decent dividend. I think Exxon does, Target does, and there's another one. What's the other one? Jesus. I can't remember it right now. SPG? The Simon something. I forgot. Yeah, I think that one has it too. See, agencies right here. Okay, agency 8/11 is a payment date, which is August 11th, but you have to have everything in by 7/31 to get credited on 8/11. So that's one right there, 12 cents per share. Okay, so look at those and make the necessary adjustments. Okay. Oh my, well, today it's not going to be too long because we kind of had a late start, but I'm just glad we're able to have this conversation. Amazing things going on. And if you right now pray, I just found out from our church that we'll be having prayer and fasting. But everything, even before we do our FF 2026, we always try to pray so God can do what he needs to do and lead the way he needs to lead. But we need to have conversations with God about so many things going on in our world, about just everything. I mean, you never know what people have planned, but when you pray, God can put his spin on it and stop what needs to be stopped and grow what needs to be grown. And we can see God's hand in so many situations when we simply trust him and let him do what only he could do. Also, just before we leave today, I was trying to get this thing done, guys, but I don't think I'm going to leave to get it done. Before we leave, we just found out some friend of ours passed, and I've been hearing this thing about sepsis, and sepsis and what it is and what it's not. And like, and people are dying from it. I heard somebody on the, is it some celebrity or somebody died, and that's what happened to them, and people couldn't figure it out. And I just, this person we know, that's what happened. And I'm like, well, what is this? So I said, let me go research and see what this is. And it's actually, I knew it was linked to like inflammation or infections in the body, whatever. But then when I checked it, it said it's actually the body overreacting to infections and inflammation in the body. It's doing more than it's supposed to fight the inflammation and the infection. And because of that, it it messes up some of the organs, and causes the organs to shut down and you die. And right there and then I just got the revelation. I said, oh my God, isn't that something? As goes the body, I guess so goes life. There's sometimes things will happen in our world, in our lives, or whatever. And when we don't have the peace of God, we don't seek God's hand and his advice on it, we end up overreacting. And sometimes overreacting to those situations can end up even killing us, literally killing us, or harming, or stopping whatever God has for us. And you've heard people, they got so mad about situations, they literally take a gun and go and shoot somebody, or get in a fight and end up being dead or something, because they overreacted as opposed to trusting God and letting God do it the way it's supposed to be done, or show them how to do it in a better way. And that is something we need to be very mindful of. That just taught me a huge lesson, that when things happen in life, don't go acting crazy and scared and frustrated and run over the place. Go before God and say, God, give me your peace about this. Show me the answer to this. Show me how this can be solved, or what you want me to do in the situation, so we could do it well and it can come out better than it's supposed to. And if we trust God and his hand in situations, the things he will do for us will be amazing. And it will get us to a place that we never thought we'd be, because we simply put our trust in God. So I thought I'd share that with you, because that just blessed my spirit. I'm like, oh my God, even in a situation that's kind of negative, God can turn it around for your good when you learn the lesson in it. Proverbs 22:29 says, seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. I like that verse. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. So let that be an encouragement to you in your business. Do the follow up. Do the work that's necessary. Do your due diligence. Be wise. Be strong. And don't let anything hamper you, or get you scared, or get you frustrated, or get you crazy. Because in the end, when you get in those kind of temperaments, you end up messing up yourself and messing up the situation even more. Just put in the hand of God. I was watching something. Oh yeah. The World Cup. Yeah, that was another situation. That was, hope you'll watch it. I enjoyed that thing so much. I'm having still a lot of people saying they're having withdrawals. Like, we're trying to figure out what to watch on TV now, because it's not there anymore. But just in those things, you get lessons. You get people get overreacted, and they get angry, and they get stuff, and things are done and said that shouldn't be said. But when we keep our minds just temperate, and especially let peace govern our mind, the Bible said he will keep us in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on God. And when we have the God just leading us and showing us what to do and what not to do, it keeps our minds at ease. So we're no longer worrying what we should do, what we shouldn't do. We're staying focused so that God can get the glory from our lives, so we could do everything God wants us to do and do it well. So don't let life get you all crazy. Like, over, even in the whole stuff in Iraq, sometimes, not Iraq, Iran. Oh God, please make the difference. It can get you bothered, but don't let it get you bothered. Just pray. And God will show you the strategies of how to handle, even with the stock market, doing what to do, what to buy, what not to buy. Because remember, if it's down, it's a what? It's a sale. We do sales over here, okay? So watch for the sales and watch for the opportunities and everything. And that's what we tell you. Do your research. Listen to the news. Listen to different things. Read different books. And get yourself in the place where you're not, get into a place where you're like, the world is falling. The world is falling. Whatever that is. I forgot that thing that we used to say when this, it was a story or rhyme that the earth is falling or something like that. No, get to a place where if things are going to say, God, what's the opportunity in this? So that I don't overreact and mess the whole thing up, okay? And get you to a right space so now you can be of help, not just to yourself, but to others. Because that's what empowering value is all about. Knowing that you're empowered to do what God's called you to do and doing it well. And then empowering the value in others so they could do the same. Okay, so get into that space this week. Understand who you are. Help somebody this week. Bless somebody this week. Here's an action plan for you. Number one, have you established connection? Have you established the connection with whether it's the investor, whether it's the business, whether it's whatever it is you're doing? Have you established the connection? Number two, what have you learned from the experience? Whether it's an investor, whoever it is you're dealing with and having an interview or a conversation with. What have you learned from the experience? And finally, what's the outcome? What's the outcome? And whatever that is, if it's not good, you need to figure out how to make it better. If it's good, you need to figure out, learn the lesson from it so you can add, you can multiply or duplicate that in your other connections or interviews or whatever it is you're doing, because that's how you get to a space where you're continuously successful, because you're learning from your mistakes, you're learning from your experiences and doing better each and every day. Okay. I want to thank you guys for being with us. I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed it. I mean, hey, you have to learn from those little things. Just the little, sometimes it's the little things that make the difference. And you're thinking it's the huge thing, but no, just the little things make a difference. Do them well, be thankful, be confident, and always bring God glory in everything you do. I'm going to thank you for, oh, no, we're not going to do this. Hold on. We got to go back. We had another song for you guys, but this week we're just going to do the same referral loop like last week because I like the song and I hope it blesses you. These are our series. This is our investor series for this month. So hope you enjoy it. And you see the referral? The referrals can happen. Make sure when people do the referrals, they can talk about the experience they had with you because your follow-up was done well. Okay, guys, until we see you next time, remember to have what? Fava conversations, and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Before the referral loop, ads burned through the month. Cat kept climbing and I was running on numb. Pages full of promise, but the well ran thin. I kept smiling through it with the tired in my skin. Then one name came back, then another, then three. Small sparks in the dark turning into a tree. The referral engine runs on what you already built. Every happy customer carries your story in their words. The referral engine runs on what you already built. Every happy customer carries your story in their words. The first organic chain started passing hand to hand. One good voice became three, and I could finally understand. It wasn't loud or shouting, it was trust taking root. One satisfied customer opening the next door loose. Then the loop clicked clean like a key in the lock. What I pushed for months was already in stock. The referral engine runs on what you already built. Every happy customer carries your story in their words. The referral engine runs on what you already built. Every happy customer carries your story in their words. The referral engine runs on what you already built. Every happy customer carries your